Hi everyone, welcome to In the Moment. Today we're going to be talking about fitness and faith. I hope you are tuned into today's episode and paying attention because I have a very special guest on today. We go way back and he basically built a fitness empire. Okay, hello. And I'm so excited to have him on. Markell, welcome to In the Moment.
Thank you for having me. And yes, we go way back. Yeah.
We met such a long time ago and he trained me, did such a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And then I bumped into him and his missus at an event and I was like, how are you?
Yeah.
Checked up on him and he's just done his thing. How has that been? Like when it comes to consistency and posting online and growing an empire, mind you, Markell has like nearly 3 million followers on YouTube, 1 million on Instagram.
Yeah.
How many on TikTok?
A million
on TikTok.
Yeah.
Millies all over. When it comes to being consistent and growing online, just the consistency, let's just talk about consistency genuinely. Do you think that's something that you just have, a skill you have, or can you like grow that skill? Like what was your family dynamic? Where did that come from? Because being an entrepreneur, I feel like not everyone is like that. Some people have to just work harder than others and some people just have it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's just something I just had, and even just a lot of people as well. I don't think everyone just has that consistency deep down inside of them. It's more, it goes a lot deeper into what your why is, like why you want to have these followers and all of this stuff. Because there's going to be times when you're working, you're creating content, and then you're going to hit a wall. And then you're not going to be growing, and then the consistency goes out the window. But when you have that why and you know why you want to grow and why you want the followers, the consistency will stay there. You might trip up sometimes, because I've tripped up many times over the last 10 years or so, but you'll get back on the horse and just keep pushing forward. So
I love that you said it's all about your why. So can I ask you, what is your why and why did you decide to get into fitness? Because Markell is actually you're a professional trainer. Let's get it. He's not a Instagram, YouTube, social media personal trainer. He actually has the qualification. So like, what is your why? Why did you get into it?
So I got into personal training. The first thing is more just helping the people in my community and my gym. So before I became a personal trainer, I used to work in a gym as a receptionist. And funny enough, I haven't said this on social media or anywhere else, but also the gym's janitor. So I used to do I used to do both. So I was behind the reception, being the janitor. I used to walk around the gym and see a lot of people kind of struggling with their technique, with their form. And there were personal trainers in this gym, but I feel like a lot of them wouldn't just go over and help the 50-year-old woman that is trying to do a lat pull down, but doing it with incorrect form, right? So that was one of the main reasons, just kind of starting, just to help people where I was when I started when I was 17 years old, and I didn't have that guidance, right? I had many injuries because I didn't have correct form, and I didn't want that for a 40, 50, or even just a 18-year-old young man trying to get into working out. So that's where it started, and I just started going hard with it. I got my qualifications. I was balancing 2-3 jobs at the same time just to get to where I wanted to be with my personal training.
I love that. And before we got on here, we spoke about your audience, basically. Like you have a lot of female audiences. And you know what? I really like you, Markell, because I like that you tell the truth. I love the way that you go about fitness because you're just like, no BS. You tell it as it is. Like, look, the only way you guys are going to lose weight is if you are in a calorie deficit. Like you just keep it very real. And I love that. Why do you think you have such a huge female audience? And why do you? And do you enjoy teaching females how to, you know, correct their bodies and whatnot?
It's a good question, you know, because I'll go straight into one of the main reasons why I help women in, you know, particular when it comes to personal training. I have been a personal trainer, well, not anymore, everything's online based. But when I was personal training, I specifically helped men. I started off helping men right at the beginning. And I got, you know, good transformations, but I noticed there was a lot of ego lifting and a lot of competition with myself and also my client that I was training. I don't know why, but maybe it's because how I looked and they wanted to show, hey, I can lift as much as I don't know what it is. When I started to get female clients, I'll be honest, at the beginning, they didn't really have that much confidence. They were new in the gym. They didn't really know what they were doing. Within 4-6 weeks, the transformation started to show. The energy of wanting to come to the gym and work out was just, I just saw it and I loved it, right?
Yeah.
And I have hundreds of transformations with women just for that simple fact. As soon as a woman knows what they need to do, they have that extra boost, that motivation, it's over. The transformation's there. So,
Wow.
yeah.
And what is it like? Because you are newly engaged. Congratulations to you and the missus.
Yes,
You guys are
yes.
such a lovely couple.
Oh, I appreciate
What
it.
is it like working like with women whilst you have a relationship with women? Because I've spoken to some women that are in a relationship with men that are in the fitness industry, and working with women is a no-go for some people. Like, how do you balance that whilst also making sure that your practically nearly wife isn't insecure about you having, you know, like close relationships with your clients?
I think there's two things. The first thing is trust. That's like, trust needs to be there. You know, in a relationship, it needs to be there. So I know she trusts me. Maybe right at the beginning when we first started talking, she was a bit skeptical.
Yeah.
Why do you have 90% of women that are following you on Instagram and YouTube? And once I explained it to her and she understood my brand, trust was built over time, right? And then also just being an open book, just letting her know, hey, this is my audience, letting the audience know this is my fiance, my partner.
Yeah.
And it just, everything was just fine from there.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Trust is there.
Do you think you get tempted? Because I also know a lot of men that do use, I keep saying I know a lot of men. I know one or two men, guys, all right? I know one or two men that do get tempted with being in that industry. I have seen it myself. Men just fall for the client sometimes, you know, or sometimes the girl can be very seductive and kind of take their personal trainer as flirting, and they make it a whole big thing. Like, do you ever get tempted with your job, or like, do you ever get tempted in terms of clients? Have you ever had to tell someone like, chill out, like it's not like that?
Well, at the beginning stages of my personal training, yeah, for sure. I was single. I was young. How old was I at the time? I think I was 21, 22 or so. And yeah, I was seduced by quite a lot of women, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And like I said at the beginning, I did kind of fall for it. I wasn't serious like that with my personal training and my business. And then I got to the point where it was more of a 50-50. I would have a client and I wouldn't take it as serious because, you know, they might be near enough my age and, you know, there's some form of attraction, but I'm pushing the business to the side. So I got to a point, I actually remember having this conversation with myself and I said, I need to fix up.
That's
I
good.
need to fix up. And from there, everything started to just move forwards. YouTube came into the picture and then Instagram and then my online presence, and I became a brand, I became a business, and not someone that's a personal trainer, but having a bit of fun on the side. It's not cool.
Absolutely.
So
I love that you kept serious and you focused on what was more important. I love that because it's a hard business to be in as a male, right?
Yeah.
Like that is a lot of temptation that you have to fight. So salute to you.
No, I appreciate it.
I do want to get into a bit of scripture because I feel like there is a bit of intertwine with faith and fitness. Like when I read the Bible last year, I realized that, well, in 1 Corinthians, let's just go to what Paul says. So Paul says to the church that your body is a temple, right? And he is kind of speaking about, not even kind of, he's speaking about sexual impurity, but I feel like we can link it to how we treat our body overall, because the Bible
100%.
also talks about gluttony and overindulgence, drunken, like, or being drunk and everything. So I do feel like taking care of your body overall is very important. How do you take care of your body and what tips can we do? Because 2025, honey, everybody wants to look good, feel
100%.
good. Like, what are some good habits or some good tips on how to take care of our body? Because I feel like it's very important, you know, from the inside out, from the foods that we're eating, from the exercises that we're doing. Like, what are a few tips that we can
I would say one of the most important things, and I said this to one of my online clients last week, is generally just being conscious of what, one, you're putting into your body, and also to how you're feeling. I feel like a lot of us, we will wake up in the morning, and you even said this to me that, you know, you woke up at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, you haven't felt 100%, you feel like you're crashing.
Yeah.
And those things, some people just kind of forget about it and just be like, hey, I feel like this, let me keep on going on. But you need to be conscious of it. You need to say, hey, I'm not feeling 100%. I need to actually go home, just relax for a bit. If I need to have a nap, if I need to do stretches, if I need to meditate, if I need to pray, you need to do something and listen to your body. So I would say definitely being conscious of, one, yes, what you're putting into your body, making sure you don't have all these snacks in the cupboard. I always say, if anything is arm reached for you, then it's not good for you. Like, if you can go into your cupboard and get whatever you need, then that's a no-no. If you have to go to, yes.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
I mean that if you're snacking,
Okay.
if you've got chocolate, crisps, whatever the case may be, and it's arm reach, by arm reach, it's in your kitchen, in your cupboard, and you know you're on a diet, you need to make sure that these things are not arm reach anymore. And by that, you leave it in Sainsbury's or Tesco's. You leave it there, not in your cupboard. But again, we're only human. I'm not saying you can't eat anything at all. But yeah, man, don't have things arm reach, because the temptation of the chocolate will call you in.
It will. No, it definitely will. It definitely will. Wait, have you always actually been like this, by the way? Because obviously, I know that you definitely walk the walk and you talk the talk.
Yeah.
That's why I really appreciate your work. But have you always been in good shape? What was your transformation like? Or have you just always known?
I'll be honest, I've always been in somewhat good shape. I'm coming from like a sports background, playing football, doing boxing. So I've always been in pretty good shape. I feel like where I am right now, I can always be, you know, a little bit better, right? I could always be the best version of myself, but I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm confident and I feel good, you know? So, plus I'm 31 years old, so I have to make sure.
You look great. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
Do you struggle with overindulgence? Because for me, this year, I'm trying. The sugar needs to go, like the sugar in everything, the sugar in the coffee, the sugar in everything. I need to stop with that. That's like a problem I seriously have, honestly.
And yeah, I know the thing that is I struggle with, coffee.
Coffee.
Oh yes, coffee. The caffeine, the levels are coffee. I'm constantly. I think when I was in the UK, I'll be honest, I used to have about bloody hell, 4, 5
a day
coffees. Yeah, because I was constantly working. I will wake up in the morning. I'll get into deep work. Then, you know, I have a pre-workout that's got caffeine in it. I work out. I come home, shower, work again, deep work. I wouldn't stop working until about maybe 11 o'clock. And then I can't sleep because I had a coffee maybe 3 hours ago, so I still got the caffeine in. So that was something I was struggling with. Right now, living in Dubai, because the days go so fast living here, by the time I get into deep work, I've had maybe 2 coffees and then I just completely stop.
Okay.
So I'm conscious of it, like I said.
Okay.
I'm conscious of how much coffee I'm consuming, but that... Hey.
Really? You know, I started drinking coffee after I went to a coffee event. I think Nespresso invited me out and they just gave me...
You started drinking coffee after going to a coffee event?
Yeah, like I didn't...
They got you.
Yeah, so they sent me. But the thing is, I don't think they got me because I just started drinking it just so that I wasn't wasting. I even gave it all to my mom when I moved to Dubai. But I genuinely feel like coffee is a placebo effect. I'm not gonna lie to you, it doesn't work for me. Like I told you, I was falling asleep on my way here. I had a coffee in the morning. I feel like I just drink it for the vibes.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually works. I don't know. I tried to test it on myself. I can sleep fine. I had like 3-4 coffees before. I will sleep when I want to sleep. If I'm tired, I'll sleep.
I feel like
it doesn't work.
I feel like if you have it way too much, your body just starts to adjust to it. So the caffeine levels that you're having, it's not going to have any effect. It's like pre-workout. People have pre-workout every single session, but not understanding that when you have it every session, I'm telling you, the effect will wear off, you know? So yeah, I'm going to calm down with it. Maybe even 1 week, just completely stop.
Okay. I want to get into how we can kind of idolize body image, right? And I know society makes it such a big deal to have certain body types. Like I don't know why body styles trend, but you see what's going on with the BBLs and stuff like that. And I feel like it's very important for you to like make comments on this, because obviously majority of your clients, viewers are female, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of women feel certain ways about their body because, like I said, societal norms or whatever. How do you feel about the direction that BBLs and like body trends are going now? Because I think it's so dangerous, especially for young women, because so many women are dying because of it.
Yeah.
So many women are dying because of it. And I don't know why we've made body types an idol. Honestly, it's so scary to me. I feel like at one point, me as well, I was too obsessed with the gym, more so because of, I don't know, I feel like it made me seem like a certain person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like, what are your views on it?
Oh, I've got views. I've got views. I talk about it quite often on my YouTube channels, just social media in general. And to be honest with you, when it comes to BBLs, I wouldn't recommend that to anyone. I had a client that joined up with my coaching, and before she was honest with me. She said, hey, before I even started this coaching, I was considering getting a BBL. I straight away just wanted to know why. Like, why do you feel like you want to go under the knife, put your life in danger for a certain look? And she straight up and said, social media. It's just the norm now to have this sort of hourglass figure and just feeling like they're going to be accepted with just society right now. And I just had to remind her that when it comes to how you look and how you feel, it doesn't come down to how someone perceives you. They don't have to come to you and say, hey, you look good, for you to feel like you look good. That comes down deep within, right? So it's just reminding her that. And she started her fitness journey. Her confidence went up. She was showing up to the gym. She put herself first, and she hasn't had any BBL talk since.
Wow.
You know, so I wouldn't recommend BBLs at all.
I know they are terrible. Like, honestly, just seeing the way that women put their body through stress. And the worst thing about it is that when they have a BBL, they don't realize that they are opening a can of worms, because you could have a bad experience and you have to get it fixed or add this and add that. And then now you're looking at another part of your body and now you have to fix this and fix that. All for what? And I didn't like, so when your client said that she wanted to have a BBL and she said it's because of social media, in terms of, would it help with her social media, like numbers and followers, or was it just because of how she would be perceived?
It's
and
just how
she'd be perceived by guys or whatnot?
Yeah,
really?
It's literally that. She wasn't like an influencer or anything
Just
like
a normal
that.
girl.
She's just a normal girl. I think
No
that was the
way.
worst of it. Like, a lot of women that we see on social media, they're doing it because they want to have that look and fit into this circle of these influencers that do it, right? Get more likes, comments, brand deals, whatever the case may be. She wasn't doing any of that. She was following these people, these celebrities, and just wanting to look like them, post on social media, maybe get, a few likes, whatever the case may be. But that was about it. You know, she wasn't in a relationship. She was single. Maybe that I did dig real deep into why she wanted it, and social media, being single, maybe hopefully getting a partner.
Yeah.
But yeah, BBL is not needed.
I know. A lot of women end up thinking their body will put them in rooms that they've never been in before.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's true, most of the times it's not. And even so, even if you are in those rooms, you're not gonna get much of it. Okay, let's say you get the followers, you get the likes, you get everything. Now you've made your body an idol. You're gonna get a certain type of crowd with that body. I feel like it's gonna be even worse than before.
Yes.
And women don't realize how insane it is to just risk your life, firstly. Like, and I know I try my hardest to be very sensitive, because I don't know what it feels like to put yourself in such risk.
Yeah.
In that case, but it really breaks my heart, because I have nieces, I have friends that have had BBLs, I have friends that want to have BBLs and stuff like that, and it honestly breaks my heart, because I'm like, the thing that you're chasing after is salvation, not surgery. I promise you. But yeah, it's just so sad. But I'm so glad that you are
Do you know, on top of that as well, is when they go, whatever woman that goes through the whole BBL procedure, one, she needs to understand that you still need to work out. You can't have a BBL and then think your body's going to be like that for the rest of your life. If you're still eating and have the bad habits, you're not going to the gym, that BBL is going to completely change. And then what's going to happen is that they're going to go back to that surgeon and get another BBL. And then on top of that, there's always something, because there's an underlying situation that they're not addressing. There's something else that they're going to do. They'll get a BBL, then they'll get their nose done, then they'll get lip fillers, and then it just keep on going on to the point they look in the mirror and they look like a completely different person. Their family don't recognize who they are. So
that's it's a very scary place to be. Yeah, you're actually so right about that, because when you have a BBL, now you have to maintain it. So if you weren't working out before, honey, you got to get in the gym now. I didn't get much rest last night, even though I woke up early and I felt refreshed. But how much does rest mean to you? Because even though we work out, we eat well, people like to downplay rest. You can't even grow your muscles or allow them to do what they need to do if you're not resting, right? So like, how important is rest?
Rest is everything. Rest is just as important as the workout itself. Like you said, your muscles will not grow. They won't have time to recover. If you're going to the gym Monday to Friday, right, and you're constantly working out, you're making your muscles go through so much stress, you're breaking your muscle tissues, and you're not giving time for your muscles to recover, then they won't grow. You're just going to go through lots of pain. You might have some form of injury somewhere down the line, and then you'll be looking in the mirror thinking, why is my body not changing? Why are my glutes not bigger? Why, you know? So rest is very, very important. You have to schedule that in, you know? So go sleep earlier. Absolutely. Even though we literally had that conversation and I'm getting 8 hours, 9 hours sleep.
You're getting 8 hours? What time do you sleep?
I would normally go sleep about 11, between 10 and 11.
Okay.
And then I'll wake up about 8, latest 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, latest 9 o'clock.
That's not a bad routine to have.
Yeah. I've tried the waking up at 7, 6:30, and it's good, but for life right now, it's making sense. Especially having this puppy, and she's it's making sense. So yeah. I'm getting in my sleep.
Okay, that's good. No, please, Markell, please rest, darling. Rest. But I'm glad that you're having 8 hours. You know what? The sweet spot for me is, do you know what? I can sleep up to 16 hours, you know.
16 hours?
But it's because I can do 5 hours of sleep every day, Monday to Friday. Then the weekend, I'm doing like 16 hours back to back, like Saturday, Sunday, 16 hours.
So you go sleep at what time? Just roughly. It doesn't have to.
Sometimes, do you know what? Of recent, I've only just fixed my sleeping schedule today.
Okay.
But of recent, some days I just won't sleep. Other days it will be, I'll sleep at 3 and then wake up at like, if we're talking about the long hours, I can wake up at like 5 or something in the afternoon. It's really bad. But then I'll be awake. I don't know. It's so messed up.
Is this because of work or
it's because of, do you know what? I feel like Dubai is getting to me now, because Dubai is an all-night city. It's like everyone's up all the time. And I feel like I've just been out a lot, like not even doing anything crazy, just going to like conferences or whatnot. But then afterwards, like, I'm like full of so much energy.
Oh God.
And then I stopped having sugar for like 2 weeks just to test it out, like completely cut it out.
Yeah.
And I had this energy that I just was on the go. Like I had so much energy, and for me to have energy throughout the whole day is such a blessing. So I took advantage of that. So I didn't sleep.
Amazing. Yeah.
But that lasted for like a week, and then I obviously crashed out. Honestly. But Markell, I really want to know your faith journey, because your fiance reaches out sometimes regarding like some of the quotes and scriptures that I put up. But how has faith impacted you, and how does it intertwine with fitness, or does it intertwine with fitness? Because for me, I feel like I even view fitness completely different to where I did before. Like I told you, I definitely idolized fitness quite a lot, and how I looked quite a lot, and just so much has changed since being Christian and then not being Christian, like how I look at fitness. So how, what is it like for you?
So even just going into just my faith and how it started, I would say from a very young age, I'm a Christian. I used to go to church with my grandma, my mum. I used to go to Bible studies. I'll be honest, I didn't really like it for the simple fact that I was like a shy kid. I used to keep to myself. I didn't know anyone. But I've got amazing memories of my grandma just going to church and my mum. So it started from there. And then just over time, I tried to build on my relationship with God. But at the same time, I did stop going to church. And it's not because I didn't want to. I think life just kind of, it's not even an excuse. It shouldn't be an excuse, right? But if I'm honest, life just went in a whole different direction, right? I was just focusing on just growing up, teenager stuff, right?
Yeah.
And church just kind of it wasn't a priority. But I made sure that my faith and the relationship with God was always there, like no matter what.
Good.
So where I am right now, I don't go church. I should go church. I want to go church. And me speaking to you and keeping it real with you, it hasn't been a priority, you know?
Okay.
There's been other things, getting the wedding ready and being a father and, but I need to find time. How it connects, because that was a good question. Does it connect with fitness and faith? It does. This is the first time you're actually thinking about this. And when I go to the gym for the last maybe year or so, I don't listen to music. I don't really listen. When I do boxing, I might listen to some form of like instrumental or whatever the case may be. But generally speaking, I don't listen to music. I either listen to some form of motivational podcast. I have no music at all. Or I might just be on the phone to Essie and she's just complaining about something. But the times when I'm not listening to anything at all, I'm normally in my head and I will do some form of meditation. Meditation looks different for everyone, right? But for me, it's thinking about where I am in life, having conversations with God, honestly, in the gym. And even sometimes when I'm doing an exercise and I feel like I can't do one more rep, just small conversations like that, like pushing myself, talking to God, I'm able to stay in the gym an extra 20 minutes or get that weight up that I didn't want to get up because I felt tired, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it does connect. Fitness and faith, it definitely connects for me in that way.
That's so good. I love that you stopped listening to music because that is so powerful. I think I did the same as well. Like I stopped listening to certain music. I stopped listening to music for like half of the year. And then I started listening to worship music and just comparing. And then I made like a whole like Christian rap playlist and stuff like that. But it even works out better when you're not listening to music because you just have that time to work out and spend time with God. So I love that you were able to like discover that and like you're growing your relationship with God. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely think it affects the way that you work out, the way that you think, because there's so many things happening when you're working out. Like I feel like you're very vulnerable as well. Like you're really focused. So what you have in your ear is so important in that time. And obviously I do feel like it affects the workout as well. And I feel like you work out a bit better and you train yourself for the long run better when you have no music.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
And you know what? You literally just said about when you're working out. When it comes to working out, you're going to go through stress. You are actually at one of your weakest when you're working out because, again, you're breaking down your muscle fibers and also mentally as well. But at the same time, you're also at your strongest because you're pushing through that moment of wanting to give up, right?
Yeah.
So when I said having a conversation with God in moments like that, I do get the strength to again keep pushing forward, right?
Wow.
Even though I am at one of my weakest because I'm doing an exercise, squats, for example, and my legs are burning. I just want to stop, but I get that extra energy, that extra push to keep on going through. So
I love that. Okay, so like you speak to God like when you're about to like give up or you need one more extra rep, you're just like you push yourself. That's so good.
Or even just on the treadmill.
Yeah.
You know, just on the treadmill 30 minutes, not listening to music. I could be in my thoughts, I could be thinking of work, I could be thinking of just life in general. And then there's many times, and this has happened recently, where I remind myself of things that I'm grateful for, especially moving to Dubai, coming from Croydon, like I'm grateful for so much. I'll just walk on my balcony in the morning and just be like, this, like God has put me in this position where before I used to walk to my balcony and it's pouring with rain and grey, and I'm still grateful for it, but it's just a different appreciation of where I am in life because of God, you know?
Wow, that's amazing. Can you tell us a bit about your life back in London?
Hey.
And
Hey.
where you came from and where you are now, and the difference and the work you've had to put in to change that, because that's a huge accomplishment, Markell.
Yeah.
Like you've come from Croydon and now you're in Dubai. You're about to be married.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful fiance. You have a new puppy. You're an amazing father, and you've moved your whole life over here, and you have a whole fitness empire. How did you do that? And who were your life-changing people that helped you on your journey, other than God, of course?
Yeah. Well, how I even did it was, it started a decade ago, and it was always the plan to grow my brand and just kind of get my message and just me out there. But I just didn't want to do it in like a gimmicky way or anything weird, or having to like sell my soul to kind of get people to view my stuff. So it took a lot longer than someone that could blow up in a year or 2 years, right? So it started from there. Once things started to pick up, my brand, my journey started to pick up, I was like, I need to do more. I need to give more. How am I going to do this? And living in London, I felt like I hit a wall. I felt like I couldn't grow anymore. I tried my best. I tried to put myself in certain rooms, and it just wasn't working, for the simple fact of the weather. It used to put my mood down. Creating content, you know, I felt like I couldn't create content because I was constantly cold. And again, when you look out the window and you see it grey, it can just change your mood completely. And then just the people, if I'm honest, I'll be real, it's just the people in the UK. The safety has gone crazy. People look miserable, and a lot of people have a good reason to, because I don't want to get into it. The economy in the UK right now is a bit, but the people, the weather, the safety, it just opened my eyes to something needs to change. And then Dubai popped up. You know, I saw you was living here. I saw your vlog on YouTube. I said, Essie, we need to talk, you know. I saw one of my other friends, he moved out here. And from then I just started plotting, planning, came to Dubai, met up with you, answered you lots of questions. You helped as well. So yeah, that's how it started. And right now, life is good. I'm very, very grateful to be where I am now, because big things are happening. That
is so beautiful. Are you enjoying Dubai? Because we spoke a bit about I don't know, was Ralph Lauren your first event in Dubai? Like, let's say influencer event in Dubai?
Yes.
Yeah?
That was my first event. I went to like a mastermind beforehand.
Okay.
That was really good. Just meeting up with a lot of business people for 3 days or so. But like the influencer sort of event, that was my first one.
Yeah.
I don't really do the influencer events, like even in the UK.
I know, but we actually met at one.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of grateful for it.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like more fitness. That wasn't really an influencer event, right? That's like more of the class. I love those, like when you do classes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I need to start pushing myself to go out and meet, you know, other people.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're going to meet the most amazing people with crazy stories you can, you know, resonate with and grow with. So yeah, for sure.
Okay, I love that. Can you share a personal testimony about, other than you coming to Dubai, but about what God has done in your life, just in general? Anything that can come to mind, anything regarding anything, because obviously even though you don't go to church right now, you still maintain that relationship with God, which is absolutely amazing. Because just because you go to church doesn't mean that you are a perfect Christian, or that you are like, that you even know God. Some people go to church, they don't even know who God is. They just go to be there and be seen and to show it off online, right? But if you have a relationship with him, that's the most important thing. I mean, obviously community is a whole nother conversation, but is there anything that has happened in your life that you can share a testimony on?
Oh yeah, I know straight away. Like when you said, if you can think of anything, instantly, my son. My son straight away. So I found out I was going to be a dad at the age of 21. And at the time, like I said, I was working in a gym. I was like a janitor as well. And then I was back and forth working at a 9-to-5 job at Sainsbury's. So money wasn't the best. I was just learning as I was going. I was still a young man. Then I found out I was going to be a father with my partner at the time. And I, as a young man going through money problems and where am I going in life, I was stressed. I was like, God, like, am I meant to be a father right now? I can barely provide for myself. How am I going to provide for, So that moment there, I was going back and forth in my head. I was having many, many conversations with God. I needed an answer. I needed to know, like, why now? Of course I want to be a father, definitely, but why now? And I didn't get the answer straight away. I just kept on showing up, being an amazing father, trying to provide regardless of the circumstances of living at my mum's house and living on the bloody floor in a blow-up bed with my not even 1-year-old son and juggling jobs. I just didn't understand, but God gave me the answer. Like, probably a year in, it hit me. I was like, okay, this is why God wanted me to be a young father, because I had this motivation. Remember we was talking about why? Yeah. What's your why? Your why will always change, but there's always that one why that will just be number one. And that's my son, being a provider, being there for him, making sure that he's all good mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I just want to be there for him. And getting a little bit deeper, I never had that growing up, right? I lived with my father, but he wasn't present at all. Hence why I give so much respect to my mum. And I speak so highly for women, especially single mums that are there for their kids, right? So I made sure, because I didn't have that, I'm going to have that for my son. I'm going to make sure everything I didn't have, he's going to have. And that was another reason. I think that's what God was showing me. And even to this day, it gives me that boost, that motivation. Coming to Dubai, unfortunately, he wasn't able to move out here with me, but one of the main reasons is for my son, to provide for him, making that sacrifice. So yeah, that's one of my testimonials.
Markell, that is so beautiful. Don't make me cry up in here. That is so beautiful, Markell, because honestly, like, with your circumstances and like where you've come from and everything, and even just your experience of not having a present father, I'm so glad that you went the other way, because I always tell people, like, especially when it comes to your family dynamic, you can either do the same that happened to you or do the complete opposite, right?
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you decided that because I didn't have this, I'm now going to make sure that my son has this. That is so beautiful, because I feel like even in the UK, there's this whole situation. I don't know why, but there's always this topic of discussion where people try and say that men don't show up for their children and whatnot, but I've seen amazing fathers. Like, for example, I have one sitting across me right now. So I'm so glad that you have stepped up, because so many men aren't doing that, so many men decide not to show up for their child. Sometimes it's not even a choice. I do hear stories where I've witnessed stories. I've seen men not being allowed to be around the child. I've seen it. I've seen it up close and personal, and it's very, very, very sad. But I'm just so glad that you decided that, no, I'm gonna make sure that I show up for my son, and I'm sure he's so proud of you.
Yeah, God willing. I think that's one of the most important things, and one of the things that are constantly on my head. Is he proud of me? Am I doing enough? Like, even coming to Dubai, I'm like, should I have moved to Dubai? I used to see him every weekend and speak to him all the time, and go to his school plays, where now it's through FaceTime. I make sure I go like every 3 months or so, but it's not 100% the same. But it's for a bigger purpose. God has spoken to me. He's told me this is the route you need to take. So I'm going to listen to him, put all my faith in God, and just, here we are.
I love that, Markell. I love that. I love that you're also willing to trust God on this journey, because obviously you can't do it without him, right? And I honestly, just seeing you going up, honestly, I'm so proud of you. But right now I have some firing questions, okay?
Oh, God.
We're going to do some rapid questions. They're very easy, very simple, okay? So first one, your favorite workout move?
Oh, my favorite workout move would be lateral raises, dumbbell lateral raises.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why?
because I can lift really heavy with those.
Okay.
And I'm very I'm happy to say that I can lift very, very heavy. A lot of people don't like that movement. I love it. And I look good as well. So I look good.
What's your favorite Bible verse?
Oh,
I hope you're opening up your Bible, Markell.
You know what? That is something I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
I need to start reading my
You
Bible.
should.
You know, I'm a very open book when it comes to things like this. I'm not embarrassed to say I'm a Christian, but I don't know much Bible verses. I think this is where you start, right?
Yeah.
Just being real with
Absolutely.
it. So funny enough, myself and Essie, we got like this prayer book, and last year, New Year's, that's when we got it and we opened it and we read through like some prayers, like literally before the New Year's. We didn't go out to party, we was at home, and we're going to do the same thing in Dubai as well. So your answer to the question, I'll get back to you on that one.
Do you know,
if you could tell me one.
No, I will tell. Okay. What do you, I just say, just open up the word, right? Because you can't know who God is if you don't even know what he stands for. Why we love him so much. Like, you can't know God without the word, right? In the beginning was the word, and the word was God. What in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. So it all starts from the Bible. Just start anywhere. You know, last year I read it cover to cover. But if you just wanna, I've bought so many people Bibles in the past month. Listen, if you guys need me to buy your Bible, I'll get you a Bible. But it depends what you're also looking for right now as well. If you let me know, I can direct you.
Balance. Yeah, I would say balance. That's what I'm more looking for.
Balance in life?
Just life. Yeah, balance in life. Like, you already know the transition of me becoming a husband, a father.
Proverbs. Okay. If you're going to prepare to be the man, and I think you're already on the route of it, honestly, open up Proverbs and then go to Ecclesiastes and then obviously read about Jesus. But Proverbs.
Okay.
And Ecclesiastes. You and Essie, I'm giving you guys a challenge. You can do one chapter a day. It's like 31 chapters in Proverbs.
Okay.
So one chapter a day for the month.
Yeah.
And you'll definitely love chapters 7 to 9. Those definitely speak to just men.
Before we move on to the next question, you said you read it cover to cover. Did you take like notes of like things that you remembered? Did you highlight? What was your?
Yeah, absolutely. And funny enough, my favorite verse is in Proverbs 3, chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding, and he will show you what path to take. So that spoke out to me because for the longest time I trusted on my own knowledge. I thought I was a god, you know. And yeah, I read cover to cover and I took so many notes. I like to say that I read it and I didn't study it, so now I'm studying it. I have 4 things I want to focus on this year.
Nice.
But yeah, now I'm studying it. But when I do study or read, I just happen to take notes because there's just so much in there that you're not going to be able to read without taking notes down, because I loved self-help and the Bible is way better than self-help because everything that you've read, the Bible said it first. I promise you that. But back to the questions, your go-to healthy snack.
My go-to healthy snack.
Yeah.
I would say it's literally just fruits, you know. It's just like coming to Dubai I don't know if you've actually had this, Spinneys. They have like that fruit. That fruit
Don't
platter.
Get me started.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. Spinneys is the best shop. Like they have biltong, they have fruits, they have, oh my gosh, Spinneys is amazing. And it's affordable. Do you know what Spinneys is like? I don't know if anyone remembers this in the UK, but Morrison's.
Yeah.
I think it's like Morrison's. It's like, it could be a Waitrose. Kind of is a Sainsbury's. It's like a Morrison,
because it's not low end.
It's like,
but the price is like, oh, okay, I can.
Good.
Yes.
Sometimes it does give Whole Foods. Sometimes. Spinneys is good, you guys. I try to. I'm not near any Spinneys, so like whenever I am near one, I'll be entering.
100%. But no, go to just fruits.
Yeah.
Fruits, honestly, like everything you could think of. I just love fruits in general.
Yeah, same.
So that's my go-to.
That's good. Yeah. That's so good. Nice and healthy. Your rest day activity.
Oh, my rest day activity. What I've recently been doing is literally going into the studio. I know it's me still going to the gym, but I go to my apartment gym and I literally do 30 minutes of stretching. So I'll listen to a podcast and I would just do static stretches. So that's just me like lying down and being in one position for a certain period of time and 30 minutes straight stretching. The reason for that is I feel like, again, I'm 31 years old and I've noticed small changes with my body. Like I'm a bit stiff in certain places or my back, whatever the case may be, right? So I'm really trying to get more into my stretching, my mobility, and not neglecting it, not thinking, oh, I have to just lift weights and resistance training. And no, recovery is, yes, sleep, but it's also making sure you're doing your stretching, like nearly on a day-to-day basis. Wow. So I try to do that 2 to 3 times a week, either 15 to 30 minutes. I'll be lying if I said every time was 30 minutes. Yeah. So between 15 to 30 minutes.
That's
so
good. Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Since coming to Dubai, I've been doing that.
That's
and
good.
I feel good.
That's so good. Oh, wow. Okay. One fitness trend you think needs to go?
I would say the one fitness trend is losing your weight in a certain period of time. So very fast. Like when I was just starting out, I was a victim of this. I used to do this just to get people to click, right? And I always used to say the realness when people clicked, right? Better clickbait. But a lot of people don't really speak the truth on this. So when they say, oh, you can lose your belly fat in 7 days, or you can do this, right? Not understanding, one, you can't spot reduce fat, and 2, it takes time. Like the midsection is probably the last place, especially for women, where it will go, right? So we need to kind of move away from this myth of doing a certain exercise or even just working out for 30 days and thinking you're going to become the best version of yourself. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So that's what I would say. Yeah.
Okay, that's so good. That is so good. What are some tips that we can take from you? Because you've been in the industry for so long and you give such good advice to women. And I'm sure so many people have including myself, have a better body for 2025. What are some tips that we can go home with, like nutrition-wise, workout-wise? Like, what are some tips that you can give us to better ourselves this year? Because I think everybody wants to be their best version.
The number one thing I would say, and I've been preaching this recently on my YouTube, is so simple. It is so simple, but it's a game changer. It's walking. I know it's like just walking. Yes, walking. A lot of people don't like cardio, right? And we need to incorporate cardio, especially when it comes to weight loss or just, keeping your physique together and just also just normal health, right? You need to walk. If you don't like going on the treadmill and sprinting, if you don't like going for jogs or being on a cross trainer, try your best to get at least 7,000 steps a day. Instead of sitting at home, go out for a walk, go a walk, 30-minute walk with your dog. Go with your partner, get your steps in, because over time, when those steps add up and you see how many calories you burn throughout the day, I promise you, you're going to thank me for it. Like, since coming to Dubai, I'm able to get a lot more steps in, right? And
really?
Oh, yeah. Remember, I live in Marina. I'm on the walk.
Oh, okay.
So there's times I will be at home. Literally what I'm talking about now, I will be at home. And I'm like, why am I just sat here? Like, I can go outside in my t-shirt and walk. Let me walk. Let me call someone. Let me listen to a podcast and get my steps in. And at the end of the day, I've hit my goal of 1, how many steps I need, and 2, the calories burnt. I didn't have to go on a treadmill and sprint for an hour and then have this hate relationship with the gym or with cardio. I just walked, especially for women that are beginners. Especially if you're trying to lose weight and you're trying to get yourself into that working mode, start with walking. Start with working out at home. Use your own body weight, dumbbells, and then gradually move into the gym, So that's one of the most important things I would say.
Walking is so good. Walking is a good one. I feel like Dubai Mall, you can get 10K steps easily. Every time I go there, it's 10, 11K steps.
Yeah, literally.
But walking is good. Yeah, walking is a very good tip. I feel like for me, I need to walk more. And he said, yeah, I wish I lived in Marina. Marina's a good place to walk around. Like, I feel like Dubai lacks like places to walk.
Yeah.
Which is why I spend so much time in downtown. I can just walk around.
Yeah.
But
gotta walk.
yeah, you have to walk. And what about nutrition wise? Because I feel like for me, working out, I got that to the T to the bag. That's easy. Nutrition is hard. I feel like there's just so many temptations everywhere, especially in Dubai. There's always Dubai chocolate, there's something, events and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So what is a good tip on starting to better our diet? Because I by now we should all know what to eat, guys. Come on, let's be real. But what is a good way to be consistent in that?
I would say knowing the calorie intake you should be having every single day. Now, there's so many people that said, oh, I've been eating clean. I've been having my salads and but if you really sit down and you're honest with yourself and you say, hey, I did have my salad, but I also had a Krispy Kreme donut. You know, I did have my salad, but I also had that chocolate bar that was an extra 600 calories that wasn't needed. When you are conscious, and I said this at the beginning, of what you are putting into your body, you're able to note down, okay, I've had 2,000 calories. I need to be in a calorie deficit. I should have had 1,800. Where in the back of your head, you feel like you haven't eaten that much. But because you wasn't conscious of what you was putting in your body, those calories are adding up. So like you said, a lot of women, a lot of people in general know what they should be eating. But a lot are not conscious of what they're actually eating and how many calories everything is in that donut, in that whatever it may be, right? So I would say going into 2025 and just even starting your fitness journey, use apps like MyFitnessPal, things like that. If you have a personal trainer.
Your app? Hello, you have an app? Plug yourself?
I have an app literally specifically helping women where they can get their nutrition, how many calories they need to have, the workouts they need to do. And I'm doing something completely new for 2025 as well. Live workouts with me weekly.
Okay.
Helping with motivation, accountability. So
I love that.
Yeah, keep track.
Well, thank you, Markell. Honestly, you are amazing. You have been amazing. This conversation has been so great, and it's been so good to catch up with you.
Yes.
Once again, thank you so much for all that you do. Please, where can we find you online?
Yes, Mr.London. Literally just search Mr.London and you will find me. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok,
Good
Facebook.
name. Good name. So easily searchable.
So easy, right? Yeah. So easy. I love that. I just chose that 12 years ago now.
Yeah. That's so amazing.
But yeah, Mr. London, you'll find me.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to In the Moment with Aliyah. We have episodes every Sunday. We covered fitness and faith today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.